I'm going to say something that took me a long time to admit. I wasted 5 years of my life, not in a dramatic movie scene way, not because of addiction or disaster, but in a quiet, socially acceptable, painfully normal way. On the outside, I looked fine. I had plans, I had goals, I talked about growth, I consumed motivational content, I told people I was working on myself. But if I'm honest, I was stuck. 5 years passed, and when I looked back, I couldn't point to real progress. No massive failure, no massive breakthrough, just slow drift. And the worst part, it was my fault. Not because I wasn't capable, but because of 6 habits I refused to let go of. This isn't a perfect life transformation story. It's a confession. And if you recognize yourself in any part of this, maybe it saves you 5 years. Year 1. The illusion of progress. 5 years ago, I was ambitious. I had notebooks filled with goals, business ideas, fitness plans, books I wanted to read, skills I wanted to master. I loved planning. Planning made me feel productive, but planning is dangerous when it replaces action. I would spend hours organizing my future, creating routines I never followed, designing perfect schedules that lasted 2 days. I mistook preparation for progress. And that was habit number 1 I had to quit. Habit 1, living in preparation mode. I was always getting ready to start the gym, getting ready to launch something, getting ready to improve my life. I told myself I needed more research, more clarity, better timing. But here's what I eventually realized. Preparation is safe, starting is risky. If you prepare forever, you never face the possibility of failure. You never test yourself. You stay in a comfortable fantasy where everything will be perfect once you begin. The problem is, someday never comes. I quit over-preparing by setting a rule. If I think about something for more than 48 hours, I must take a small action. Not plan, not optimize, act. It felt uncomfortable at first, but action gave me feedback. Feedback gave me growth. Growth replaced fantasy, and that changed everything. Habit 2, saying yes to everything. This one hurt to admit. For years, I said yes to things I didn't even want to do. Extra responsibilities, social events, projects that drained me. Why? Because I wanted to be liked. I wanted to look helpful. I didn't want to disappoint anyone. But every yes to something misaligned was a no to something meaningful. I was exhausted, not because I worked too hard, but because I worked on the wrong things. My calendar was full. My progress was empty. Quitting this habit required something simple but difficult: boundaries. I started asking myself one question before committing to anything. Does this move my life forward or just fill my time? If the answer was just filling time, I began saying no. It felt selfish at first. But over time, I noticed something powerful. The right people respected boundaries, the wrong people disappeared, and suddenly, I had energy again. Habit 3, escaping into dopamine. This one is uncomfortable. I wasn't addicted to anything extreme, but I was addicted to stimulation. Scrolling, YouTube, short videos, news, constant input. Every time I felt bored, stressed, or uncertain, I reached for distraction. I told myself it was harmless. Everyone does it. But those tiny moments added up. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, an hour at night. Days turned into months, months into years. And here's the dangerous part. Dopamine tricks you into feeling satisfied without achievement. You consume motivation instead of creating results. I quit this habit gradually. First, I removed my phone from my bedroom. Then, I created no scroll mornings. Then, I replaced night scrolling with reading or planning. It wasn't perfect. I still slip sometimes. But reducing digital noise gave me something I hadn't felt in years: mental space, and mental space creates clarity. Habit 4, waiting to feel ready. I believed a lie for a long time. I'll start when I feel confident. I waited to feel ready to apply for better opportunities, ready to take risks, ready to improve my health. But confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. I was waiting for a feeling that only appears after you move. So I changed my mindset. Instead of asking, "Am I ready?" I started asking, "What would a ready person do?" And then I did that. Even if I felt nervous, even if I felt unsure. Readiness is often just courage disguised as momentum. The day I stopped waiting for emotional certainty was the day my growth accelerated. Habit 5. Comparing my timeline to others. This one quietly poisoned my mindset. Every time I opened social media, I saw someone ahead of me. Someone younger achieving more. Someone building faster, someone earning more. Comparison made me impatient. Impatience made me frustrated. Frustration made me inconsistent. I would start something, not see instant results, and then quit because someone else was already further. What I didn't see were their years of unseen effort. I was comparing my chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. So I quit measuring my life against other people's timelines. I began measuring only one thing. Am I better than last month? Not better than someone else. Better than my previous self. That shift removed pressure and replaced it with focus. Progress became personal, and personal progress is sustainable. Habit 6. Breaking promises to myself. This was the most damaging habit of all. Every time I said I would wake up early and didn't. Every time I said I would exercise and skipped. Every time I promised to focus and then distracted myself, I weakened my self-trust. No one talks about this enough. When you repeatedly break promises to yourself, your confidence drops. Not because you lack ability, but because you lack integrity with yourself. And without self-trust, everything feels harder. So I made one rule. Keep small promises. Not dramatic ones. Small, realistic ones. If I say I will work for 30 minutes, I work for 30 minutes. If I say I will walk for 15 minutes, I walk for 15 minutes. Slowly, self-trust returned, and with it, discipline became easier, because discipline is not about force, it's about trust. What changed after quitting these habits? I didn't become a millionaire overnight. I didn't transform into a superhuman productivity machine. But I stopped drifting. That was the real victory. My days became intentional instead of reactive. My energy improved because I wasn't scattered. My focus deepened because I wasn't constantly escaping. My confidence grew because I kept promises. And here's the most important part. I stopped feeling behind in my own life. The 5 wasted years weren't dramatic. They were slow leaks, and plugging small leaks changes everything. If you feel like you're behind, maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're stuck in preparation mode. Maybe you're saying yes too often. Maybe you're overstimulated. Maybe you're waiting to feel ready. Maybe you're comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. Maybe you've just broken too many small promises to yourself. None of that makes you broken. It makes you human. The difference between wasting another 5 years and changing direction isn't a massive breakthrough. It's quitting one habit at a time. Start with 1, not 6. 1. And give it 30 days. You'll be shocked how quickly momentum builds once you stop leaking energy. 5 years taught me something I wish I understood earlier. Time doesn't destroy potential. Comfort does. Drifting does. Avoidance does. If this video helped you reflect even a little, I want you to do one thing after watching. Write down one habit you know is quietly holding you back, and decide today to confront it. Not perfectly, but consistently. If you found value in this, make sure you like the video. It helps more than you think. Share it with someone who might need to hear this. And subscribe if you want more honest conversations about growth, discipline, and building a life you're actually proud of. Because 5 years from now, you'll either be grateful you started or wishing you had. The choice is always small in the beginning, but it becomes massive over time.